Hi, everybody. It's Stacey Sobol from Salon Today Conversations, and today I'm with Dilan DaSilva from SalonClouds Plus. How are you, Dylan?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm great. Today we're going to talk about the new client experience and how salons are adapting, and in particular, how technology is helping them adapt to the new protocols, the new standards of care to protect both clients and the team members. So we're going to do a little tour of some things, but tell us kind of about what's been unique about designing technology for this new reality.
Got it. So it was kind of interesting when everything kind of went shut down. We were obviously, salons are going to be in trouble. Everything shut down. We're like, okay, so there's a couple of things we thought of. E-commerce, right? We were going, okay, so one thing they need is e-commerce stores. So then because we've been doing this for a long time, we started standing up e-commerce stores nonstop. I mean, we called the salon and said, guys, you need to make money. So let's start getting you e-commerce. And we started building these stores. So I put a whole team together to build those out. The neat thing about the experience I had, and this goes to all the products that we've been building, my staff that I work with, that I built, our team, is all salon managers, either salon owner or even stylists. So that these are the project managers I work with. So they're actually in the industry. So when we talk to them, they said, this is the best thing to do. We got to get them e-commerce so they can sustain.
Right. Get them some money while they're closed.
Exactly. So when this all happened, we stood a couple of stores up and it went, I didn't expect it because, there's this whole nomenclature saying, salons don't really sell online and it's other competitions taking their retail, but it was not the case. We just saw numbers go really high. The all the clients started buying products and getting shipped to their home, which is really cool.
So can you show us what that looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me share my screen to you. Okay. There you go. So this is Artisan Architects. It's one of our clients. And then this is the e-commerce store we built for them. And we built it very similar to other retail experience because we didn't want to make it complicated because the salon's client already knows how to buy from online. They learned because why change it, right? There's no innovation here. This is like how to get to the point. So we built this really cool thing. They can search for their products. They can even log in and see their history of their products too. So if we connect most of these e-commerce sites with POS systems. So we bring that in, and the client experience, they can see their history, their purchase history. And they can buy.
They knew that they used a CRM 6 months ago, but they don't remember the name of it. They can go back in their history and say, oh yeah, that's the product I want.
Exactly. So we thought of two things, right? We thought, all right, the first thing is that they need to see from history they can buy, but also there's another party to this because we want the stylist to also have credit, right? So the stylist also they normally make a commission in some salons and others don't. It's okay, but we also want to give that commission. So at the checkout process, it's really neat that they can actually pick the stylist they want to give commission to. And so the salon owner gets a report going, hey, this is Ashley's client and she sold 5 Davines products. So that's kind of how we did it. And we actually saw such a cool trend on that. And the stylists loved it too, because they're like, hey, I'm getting paid too. This is great. I'm going to promote it. So they were promoting to their own clients to push to e-commerce.
That's great. So you saw some customers do really well with this through the pandemic?
Absolutely. A lot of them, we have, I don't know how many stores we have. Today we have close to maybe a couple of thousand, I would say, e-commerce stores. And we have a bunch of distributors also opening up e-commerce stores through us because the experience was very simple and they loved it. So they're also on board and they're pushing it towards their clients to start purchasing this way. And yeah, it was a big uptick. We saw a huge uptick and they made revenue. And that was a big thing. And the salon owner could kind of sit there, wait and make the money. It was like postbox money for them. Like,
right.
Hey,
Now they still fulfilled the orders, correct? So that also helped them bring some staff in to help do that.
Exactly. So the jobs were created too. So that's another thing that happened. So jobs are created, and if you take salons like Teddy Kossoff, what they did was he built a staff together. He himself was putting product into and shipping out. I ordered one for myself to see the experience, and I got it. I'm like, hey, my shipment's in here, but it was cool. I got it's kind of to see your own technology kind of work. It was kind of neat. I got a text with my shipping. Here's my shipping, like Amazon, and I was like, hey, I found it. I got my shipping package. It was kind of neat. I ordered some soap. My wife goes, why do you order soap? I'm like, yeah, I just want to try something.
Well, and I know a lot of people rush to get these stores open during the shutdown, but they're going to be important moving forward because clients love the convenience of buying what they love online. Plus, if you forget to pick it up when you're in the salon, you don't necessarily want to make another outing right now. Coronavirus is still spiking in areas. We don't know what the fall is going to look like, but it makes it very convenient to anytime you think of it, go online and order it, and it's there for you. So,
yeah. And we also built some intelligence to it too. So if you ordered a product and we kind of had some sort of like, hey, this going around in 4 weeks or 5 weeks or 6 weeks, it will actually send them an email and to hey, we haven't seen you. It does this kind of really neat thing. Here's $10 off to start off with. So we did some really cool intelligent stuff that way too for people to buy. So it goes on. You can actually put the store on Facebook if you want to also, and on their apps and their emails. It's all over the place. They simply take the link and put it anywhere they want.
Plus, I know for a lot of salons, even after they're open, they want to kind of control people like touching everything on the shelves. So directing people to shop your e-commerce store, it makes it easier to keep that area clean. If you can shift some of that purchase to online.
Exactly. We also did a subscription model too, so they can actually check a little box saying subscribe. So then it just auto ships them. It creates the invoice, charges the credit card, and they can auto ship, which is one thing we did. Talking to your touchless thing is kind of neat. So I was talking to a salon, and this salon they had like pictures. And what was happening, the client would like show that I want this, I want that, because they don't want to clean the product all the time, right? So right. I want this, and so like, wait a minute. So we actually start putting QR codes, right? We gave them little QR codes and tiny little thing where they can put it on the shelf talkers, and the client just simply texts the word buy from their phone, or if they have the app, they can use the app and just scan
the QR code.
And it adds to a cart, and then the front desk person just puts it in, here you go. So and we did that in like a couple of weeks. We just got it out there for people just so that they can get through this. So
basically people could just put one of each SKU on the shelf with a QR code and then say, shop, and then the guest attendant would like fill their bag with their purchases.
Correct. Yeah. And it goes to the front desk. It says, Ashley, Ashley is here and here's what she wants. They put it in the bag before they check out. Here you go.
Love that. I love that idea.
Simple tech. I'm looking for what we do is we want to take a look at simple things that clients need, and we try to build that really fast so they can kind of go to market with it.
So everything that technology is doing right now is trying to eliminate contact in the salon and streamline the existing procedures to make things easier for everybody in the salon. So one of the other things that you all rushed to develop was Tele-Beauty.
Yep.
Can we show people what that looks like?
Absolutely. So let's go right into it. So this was kind of an interesting thing. I came up with this about 3 years ago, and my staff going, are you crazy? Well, no one's going to use this. No one's going to use teleconferencing in salons. I said, no, there's going to be a time this is going to come, right? So
you didn't predict the virus, but you knew that it was used for it.
They were like, what's wrong with Dilan, right? I'm like, no, this is the future. Nobody wanted to talk to me about it. But then when I was like, aha, see, I told you. So I took it off the shelf, dusted it out, and said, okay, we have the product. So we were really fast to go to market on this. We within 60 days, we got the whole thing ironed out. But look, there's things like, you and I are using Zoom, right? We're using Zoom. There's tons of it out there. But what I did was nothing like earth-shattering, is that I did a wrapper around the technology in order to really talk to the client and the salons. really, so it's actually built for the industry, right? So it's not like, for example, you can take formula notes, right? Client can go and request an appointment and it makes a call, like all this stuff we did. So while I was doing all this really cool stuff here, and I ended up doing, you know what, staff, they need a staff portal, because I started seeing staff meetings going on. So we ended up building a staff dash, which then you can create all these really neat appointments, meetings, and send it out to your staff. I even built, and this is the funniest thing, I built these emoji things that what happens on the dashboard is it'll automatically start, you can put like a party, like minions running around. And
celebrate somebody's goal that they hit or something like that.
So it's just fun stuff I did, because
Yeah.
that's what salons and spas like. So we kind of did that too. And I built an interview thing in there. So if they want to interview a new job applicant, because they can't come into the salon, they can actually set a schedule or invite the staff to go into it, and they can have a teleconference with that person.
That's great. So I know while salons were closed, people were using the Tele-Beauty consultations to assist in retail sales. I know a lot of people would like have meetings with clients, talk about what their needs were, and then prescribe them the appropriate products. But as salons were starting to reopen, it was really important to see what people had done to their hair during the shutdown. Either how long their growth was, how long their roots were, so you can schedule the right time and predict the right price. Or if they took color into their own hands or cut their own hair, you saw what you had to deal with and how you needed to schedule that appointment accordingly.
And that's
so
what
that was really important as these clients that had been gone for several months were coming back.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what happened. Glow Beauty, actually, I didn't even know this. They mandated it. And all of a sudden we saw this spike in the amount of calls. I'm like, what's going on with this salon? And then we saw they mandated it. And every single person that actually had to come to the salon, they had a tele. They actually had a consultation. They talked about, okay, this is what we need. And they were like a couple of minutes. But the neat thing I saw is that normally when a client comes to a salon, you spend like 10 to 15 minutes with this person talking about all kinds of stuff.
Right.
It's so fast that actually when they came in, they know what to do and get them out the door. So it actually worked out in a very cool way. So the intakes are already done already with the person. So
right. And because there was such a rush to get clients serviced when salons reopened, you wanted every moment of productivity out of that chair. So if you could shift the consultation online, you could get more, you could do more clients in that chair during the day.
Yep. And we had another client who actually used it for skincare. So she's in Hawaii and Helen's Heaven. And what she did was she actually had the consultations to, hey, this is the product you want to buy. This is what, and then in the system, you can simply attach the link and say, here's the products you want to buy. And they can just simply one click buy. So she was actually consulting with them saying, this is what you need for your skin. That was kind of cool too. Just kind of see this stuff work was really neat to see how people used it.
So ongoing, I think it's also great for new clients. If you have a new client coming in, instead of spending that half an hour getting to know them, you can get to know them online, kind of see what their hair condition is, and then talk to them about what their goals are, what they want to achieve. And you can design their hair game plan before they even walk in the door. So you're ready to go.
Exactly. The next iteration of this, what we've done is we're connecting it into some of the POS systems. So the booking was going to be part of the whole thing. Right now it's a request right now. So now it's going to be a booking. So we're actually doing some really neat stuff on it too.
Well, and then the staff dashboard, I mean, the ability to, I mean, even though salons are open again, you don't necessarily want to gather your whole team in a room for a meeting.
Yeah.
Plus, I know a lot of stylists are telling me it's exhausting wearing the mask all the time, and communication is really tough. So I think, keeping the staff meeting online, people don't have to wear masks. It's easier to communicate. It would be, and you can have it at, times that not everybody has to rush to be at the salon if they have childcare issues. So.
Exactly. And we actually build this into our staff app too. I just kind of bought sorry, there's two videos you're seeing, but we also bought it into the staff app. So on our staff app they can actually use to communicate between the owner or staff to staff communication too. So we kind of built it. It's kind of a communication platform that we ended up building.
That's great.
So yeah, so there it is. So there's the, you can do, and there's the party mode right there. So if I do this, I can kind of pick anything I want. And then just kind of.
Oh yeah, I bet that last one's a popular one.
Yeah, that was the popular one. So yeah, so I did. This is fun stuff, So everyone's stuck at home and like so they can just have a whole salon party. And we had clients actually, our salon clients have like all their staff in here, have like a speaker. They speak to them. It's really neat. So we did some really fun stuff with it for people to understand how it works.
So what are clients telling you about the Tele-Beauty and the e-commerce and how that's helped them?
Well, the e-commerce, the numbers speak to itself, right? So the e-commerce have helped. Let me just stop my video here. So it's like seeing myself twice is kind of strange.
Getting different views of yourself.
Exactly. So the e-commerce stuff was, that speaks to itself. Once they went live with it, they saw the orders come in and they were happy about it, right? So the Tele-Beauty kind of, it's a change. It changed the whole industry a little bit because they never used to do this. And I saw also people using FaceTime and all this stuff doing this communications, but what happened was that becomes your personal phone, right? So the salon started going, oh, wait, this is not mandated. This is not correct. This is like all over the place. So this gave them that tool to have that communication with the person. So they love it.
I did a salon the other day that caters to textured clients, and she said that they used it. They said for Tele-Beauty, they said to take me in your bathroom and show me what you have, and I can tell you how to like address your hair issues, while we're closed. So
yep.
They actually had like bathroom tours with the Tele-Beauty. Like let's see the products and the tools that you've got, and I know what you have to work with. So.
Yeah, they've told me all kinds of interesting things they've done. That they call, sometimes they try to book an appointment at 12 midnight. Hey, I got to go to this. I see what's going on with my hair, but it's not telemedicine yet.
Yeah. But maybe just as important.
Yeah, exactly. Important. Yeah.
Now, what some people may not know is you integrate with lots of different software out there. So chances are people that have one of the main softwares already have access to your products. So tell us who you integrate with.
Sure. We have Millennium, Mevo, STX, MindBody, Booker, Boulevard, Forest. Maybe it's the opposite. Who do I don't integrate with?
Who do you not integrate with?
Exactly.
You said DaySmart, Zenoti.
Zenoti.
SalonBiz.
SalonBiz, absolutely. Yeah. SalonBiz. A small salon called Spa Salon. It's another one we do with. Rosie. I don't know, so many of them out there now.
So many of them, but that's great. That means people have access to this. So what are some other functions and features that you developed specifically for the pandemic?
Oh, so it's interesting. So what happened was while I was doing Tele-Beauty, I'm going, okay, salons are going to open up, right? And they need a way to now they can't come into the salon. And they have to be sitting outside. I'm like, wait a minute, this is going to be kind of interesting. How are they going to know who's there? Right? How else can they answer? There's all these different things they had to do. And I'm sitting in my head going, I was talking to Ed, who's my VP. I'm saying, yeah, is people going to go outside saying, Dilan, like the Bueller, that whole interference Bueller thing, the Bueller, like, no, it's crazy. We even had, before I show you what we ended up creating, we had a client who actually went and they were tapping on, are you here for the salon? I was like, oh, what a mess. So
we ordered from a restaurant the other night and it was the same way. She had a clipboard and she was going, you had a number and you had to hold up your number and it was like.
Yeah, it was all strange, right? So the one thing we always did was we managed with some of the salon softwares. We had a check-in functionality where we would check in and alert the stylist, all that stuff. So I sat there going, wait a minute. So they can still use the app to check in, but then we have a product we created called Snap. Snap SMS is actually, I created it for the industry because they needed a texting platform, right? Text became, email was kind of going this way, right? And text is going this way. So I saw the trend and I said, wait, they need some sort of a communication piece. So we built like a two-way texting thing, which I'll show you in a minute. So what we did was I built a check-in, just thought of like McDonald's and all these other companies going, okay, they ordered the food, they pick up the food, there's a dashboard, all this really neat stuff. And I created this really simple thing of a check-in platform. So 1 hour or 24 hours before the appointment, they'll get an alert saying that, hey, your appointment's at this time. And when you're at the location, click the check-in link, right? Very simple. It's a text that goes into it. The neat thing I did was I also put Geo Fencing. So they can actually draw a polygon around their whole entire area where the people are. So they can't check in from somewhere else. They have to be inside.
You're running late, you can't check in from home and say, I'm in the parking lot.
No, it's like kind of a Pokemon Go thing. Like, okay, I'm here. You know, I show you where you are and you check in. So when that check-in happens, it will go right into this dashboard, really neat dashboard, and also check them into the salon software that then sends an alert to the stylist that Dylan's here. So we have that really cool thing, but they can't come in. So because no, you can't just come in because you checked in, right? It sends a second message saying, thank you for checking in. Please wait in your car, like whatever they want to say, and then we will let you know when you can come in. So this dashboard I'll show you in a minute had this functionality. They can simply hit notify, and it sends a notification to the client. Now you can come in. Okay. So that's kind of what we did. I'll show it to you. So this is our Snap platform. So I'm just going into the check-in function directly. So that's where you can draw the areas you want. It'll tell you how many check-ins you have. And this is the dashboard. I don't have any, this is my test environment. This dashboard shows the name, the time of the check-in, all this stuff. And this is an activity dashboard. You can put it on a big TV, however you want to do it. And they can simply click and tell the person to come in. Now, we didn't stop there, right? That was another thing we needed. We're like, okay, wait a minute. There's this COVID form, right? They needed to fill the form. So then what happened was I ended up building a COVID form. It's 5 questions, everything's the same. And then you had a little paragraph. So they had to fill this beforehand, but filling is not enough, right? Because you fill it, if somebody did say like, hey, I've been quarantined for the last 14 days, then the salon has to deal with it. So we built an intelligent form. So what it does, if a person does answer like, oh, I was kind of, exposed to it, it actually sends a triangle, like saying that, hey, warning, caution, right? Yeah. To the salon owner saying, hey, they can then call and reschedule them or do whatever they need to. So we built that intelligence into that form. So we always take one step further to not for the salon to kind of think, okay, this person had yes, and then try to sift through all this data. So that's what we did.
Well, and my salon has this. I go to Five Senses, Paula Hinton, and she has this. So when I did my appointment a couple weeks ago, I got there, I checked in from the parking lot, and then they sent me a text and say, fill out our form before you come in. So I did that. But then when I talked to Paula, she said it's also very beneficial because there's not all this paperwork she has to store. All the forms are digitally stored, and you do have to keep them for so many years to be compliant. So
yeah, we keep them for 7 years. So all those forms are kind of in archive for 7 years, so they can always go back and access it. So this is what I'm showing is kind of the back-end dashboard that you can set up all these neat things. We had like, you can text the word here. Like some people came, oh, I didn't get the link, or they didn't even think about it. They can type the word here and they check it in, So just basic things we did. And we color-coded the alert station, because when you see somebody in red, that means the guy's been there for 30 minutes. Hey, somebody needs to help this poor man, right?
Oh, okay. So it's color-coded for how long they've been waiting.
That's correct. Yeah. So you can, it's 0 to 4 minutes, 5 to 15 minutes, right? So it takes that and starts color coding. So when the staff sees it. Oh my God, this guy's been here. What's going on? So they can
Let's get them in and get going, right?
Get going, yeah. So yeah, it's kind of we're doing a lot of neat things to it. They can actually create different lists through this to send it out to like marketing text. Like they can say, hey, here's what we're doing, different transactional, and even communication between the staff. They can text through this right to the staff too, to have a two-way texting on it.
So I imagine this is also how, so my salon, Paula's salon is right next to the grocery store. And whenever I go to the grocery store, I get like a notification from the salon, it's like, we have this on special today, or so-and-so has an opening this afternoon. So I see the technology every day.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah,
it always knows, like the minute I hit that area where they share that parking lot with the mall and the grocery store, I get a notification. So
you can geofence wherever you want to do. I have clients who are geofencing all over, but hey, not the whole country.
Yeah. But it is great because the salon is always top of mind. So.
Yep. So we're all this technology we're doing is we want to put into the salons so that they can get up and running, because it's really tough times right now. So I know some of them are extended their hours. They can't use all their stations. So it's kind of a new world, right? So we are trying to adapt to it and give them any kind of touch points and ease of use on technology so that they don't have to touch. Because, it used to be iPad check-ins, right? They can go touch the iPad. Nobody wants to touch that. So it's just... So
that's your phone that you already have contaminated and you're like have with you all the time. So
don't contaminate anyone, So that's kind of what we're building out for all our clients.
Well, this is great. And I think I know a lot of it you rushed to develop for this pandemic and this particular situation. But a lot of it is just streamlining business. And then once people are comfortable using the technology, I think they'll continue to use it because it just makes things easier. Like even this check-in dashboard.
Yeah, exactly. And what we're doing now is we have, we normally every month we do a VIP list. We let them it's kind of a closed group that anyone can come to. You have to be invitation only, where I actually show some of the new stuff that's coming out. That we have some really neat stuff coming out for the touchless stuff and functionality around appointments and people and booking. And actually that makes revenue, but simple technology that they can operate without having to do 50 million things.
Yeah. And people like simple. If it's too complicated, it takes them forever to learn to use it. So
I have the 3-button rule. 1, 2, 3. That's it. After that, I don't know what to press.
Yeah. So did we cover everything? Is there anything else you wanted to share?
No, I mean there's a lot of stuff we have, but these are really cool things for, I think, salons for right now to get through their next iteration. I mean, obviously we have intercoms and all kinds of neat stuff, but this is, I think, the biggest thing. Especially Snap has become a huge thing for communication back and forth with the client, and we actually I'll let it out. We're actually combining Snap with Tele-Beauty, and that's the next iteration of this, where this becomes they can text, talk, chat, everything with one platform. But it's become a really neat thing for especially marketing, group texting, creating alerts like, hey, we can't open today. They do a quick alert. Like, it's really neat. What you do, you simply need to just go in here to appointments right here, and then you see the different types. So you can say tomorrow's appointments, and you can simply create a list just like that and send out.
Okay.
So it's really neat stuff. We even took it even a step further where, and this is, I've never seen this in other platforms, we actually built a list builder. So in this system, if you want to create different types, like different services and things like that, you can simply get the service, create that list who's opted in, and then send them different
So
stuff.
everybody that gets highlights or something like that, and you can send them a specific marketing.
Exactly, who hasn't got, or Else, sometimes if one of their stylists is not feeling well and they're not coming in, you can pull that stylist and send them, hey, Ashley's not coming in. Sam's going to be taking your appointments.
Okay.
So we're creating these things, and this is all the feedback we're getting from a lot of our clients going, hey, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. And we see that this is what the clients need, and we create that need. It's like we don't push the technology, we ask, and then we try to work around them to give them some sort of tool to use.
Right. And the only thing that's consistent about the next several months is we have no idea what's going to happen. Everything has changed so fast that I think salons don't even know how they're going to be using technology in 4 months from now, because we don't know what our reality is going to be.
Nobody knows. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Flo came back, I bet you. Flo haircutting with a vacuum cleaner. So yeah, it's a whole new world, I would say. So we are even in technology, we are trying to adapt to it, to understand how the consumer, because right now it's a consumer market. Consumer decides how they want to behave with some of this technology, right? And we have,
wants things convenient, fast, easy, and customized to their needs.
The more you serve, and what we found out with the apps we build, it's not about them clicking, it's for us serving. So since we do some intelligent push notifications on appointment times, what we should be buying, all this stuff, that's what they want. They'll click one button, buy, okay, I'm done. That's really what they're after. They don't want to be able to search, and they know what they want. You got to serve them. We'll never get 100% there, but we'll get somewhere where the salons can actually be profitable because they're actually serving that data. Like, I have stylists who actually use our technology to actually simply send to their clients saying, hey, I recommend these products to you. And that actually has been helping a lot too.
Well, and another thing I wanted to mention, because I knew this from a story we did with you, I think last year. I know a lot of people like to have their phones put away when they're with a client. But if you have an Apple Watch and you can still get the notification that your next client is here, but the client that's in the chair isn't seeing you go, oh God, I gotta rush you out of here because I got somebody here. Exactly. You can just discreetly check your time, you see the message, and so.
I mean, for the last 10 years, I've been learning the industry. I mean, I'm still learning it. Trust me, I'm still learning. But I bought a lot of this technology in when we started building, and I'm loving it. The fact that a lot of salon software are building apps and giving what they need to the clients. That's huge. I mean, that's a big thing. And people thought that apps are not the big thing anymore, but you see it. People just live on apps.
Yeah.
And the iWatch, right? And that's something prelude to our next conversation. Eventually, I'll show you what we're doing in the iWatch. Pretty neat stuff. But it's really creating that touchless environment, the contact social distancing thing that we're trying to do.
The touchless environment, but you can still up the experience, because you can't eliminate touch from the salon service. But you can eliminate as much as possible to keep people safe, so that the touch you need to do the services is what it's focused on.
Exactly. Mostly paper, right? Paper, like, even in Philadelphia, like restaurants, those paper they have, for menus, they have to throw them out. They're being told you cannot reuse them. Out. Right. So same thing with the intake forms and things like that. So you'll see a lot of salons starting to go paperless. And they'll start pushing it a lot. And even receipts that printing out, people don't want them anymore. It's going to be like,
I don't want them anymore. Email it to me or text it to me so I have a record of it, but I don't want to have a paper that somebody else touched. So
exactly, and that's something we
nor do I want to pick up your pen that everybody else has been signing with all day. So,
and we've been doing the receipt part for almost 4 years. And, and a lot of salons, no, I don't want it. Nobody needs that. And now they're like, hey, we need this thing, because they want a copy of the receipt.
Right.
Gift cards, nobody wants to hold a gift card anymore. It's just electronic, so everything's kind of changing, and salons and the beauty industry needs to adapt to some of this stuff. If they don't, then it's, it's not going to be good.
And they're going paperless, but they're also going cashless.
Yes.
You don't want to handle the money either.
Nope, they don't want to handle money. Total cashless. They want to be able to just text, okay, how much? Oh, I got it. Here's my $50. I'm going to tip this person. Done. Thank you. Let's move on.
Yeah. Well, Dylan, thank you so much for showing us the now and the future of the new salon reality.
Thank you.
Through the eyes of technology.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.